Hi everyone, welcome to Type Talks. Today we're here to celebrate 16K. We have gathered here all the TP types, so types that use introverted thinking quite well. And we're here to bring them through a series of weird and wacky problems to see what they would do or what their thoughts are. And just to let everyone know beforehand that the panel could get potentially offensive. It could be totally appropriate. It could also offend
It won't be.
All
This
right.
This panel is all about death. So.
Exactly. Expect death at the very least.
Mhm.
Theoretical death. All right, cool. So I'll have everyone quickly introduce themselves before we get started. And so we'll pass it off to Ron.
Hell, these sudden introductions, I really need to get one set up at one time. Yeah, I'm Ron. I think the last 3 or 4 years, I went quite deep into typology, especially 16 personalities. And yeah, I also like my newest hobby is some acting classes based on the Meister technique.
Yes. Context on that is I showed Ron this acting class. It's a heart-to-heart exercise facilitated by someone with INFJ preferences, and he's hooked. So I'll have it possibly linked below. And Brady?
My name is Brady. Obviously, apparently I'm an INTP because it's written on the screen. If you read that description, you probably got a good gist of who and what I am. I live in Michigan, and I've been into typology for a few years now. So, yeah, mixed feelings on it, but overall good. So that's about it.
Exactly, and this panel is supposed to generate even more mixed feelings as we go through ethically ambiguous questions. All right, and Brittany?
So my name's Brittany, obviously, right there. And I fell down, because everyone's talking about the rabbit hole. I think I fell down this rabbit hole maybe 3.5, 4 years ago. And I didn't know what I was in true ENTP fashion, kept second guessing it, but someone convinced me that I'm actually an ENTP. So apparently this is what I am, and I will try not to be too offensive.
And then it brings us to Taylor, who is all about the offense. I'm kidding.
My name's Taylor, returning heavyweight champion of Joyce's panels. My main channel is Flow State. My new channel is the Powdered Dusty because Flow State keeps getting demonetized because it's offensive. Anyways, I'm an ESTP, and I will do my part to keep it offensive.
Yeah, it's his moral obligation to be offensive. Otherwise, he's not challenging people enough to think critically. Jonathan, do you want to give a little bit of a tidbit on who you are?
Yeah, so I'm an INFJ. I've collaborated with Joyce a few times. This was my idea. Joyce was just thinking of... Joyce wanted an idea for what to do for 16K, and for some reason this popped into my head. So if you don't know what a trolley problem is, it's a thought experiment about whether you'd kill one person to save 2 or more people. And there's all kind of different variations about it. It doesn't necessarily have a right or wrong answer. It's more about exploring your own particular moral inclinations and testing them in different scenarios. So I found this game called Absurd Trolley Problems, and the first one's a pretty standard trolley problem, but each successive one gets more and more absurd. So we're going to find out what all the TPs think about that, because they're TPs. They're just interesting, likely to think about this thing. I'm also very tired. I think me and Ron are probably very tired at this particular point in time because it's very early in the morning for us. But we're soldiers, we're troopers. We were here first. We were here before everyone else.
Yeah. You guys love the Myers Briggs so much you're awake at 4 a.m. It's great. All right, so level 1. Oh no, a trolley is heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing 1 person instead.
Pull it.
So was the trolley going straight and we're pulling the lever to switch it to the 1? Or
yes, we'll try. Well, if we want to, or we can decide that's just not ethical.
You can let it kill 5 people by doing nothing, or you can pull the lever yourself and divert it to 1 person, in which case you're responsible for doing that.
Yes. So it's a question of, are you morally responsible? how morally responsible would you feel if you pulled the lever?
Well, I'd be curious to know if this is a trolley back in the heyday of trolleys, which I assume be like the late 1800s, early 1900s. I don't really know much about trolleys. Or if it's like modern day. If it's modern day, I wouldn't touch it because I'm going to get sued no matter what. Somebody's going to sue me, the people who lose their loved ones. And then I would also probably be trespassing on transportation property. So, you know, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't touch it at all, but I'd go help, I guess, once it was done. See what I could do.
Then they'd know you were trespassing still.
Well, at least that point I'd be like, oh my God, you know, these poor people needed help, you know, but I had nothing to do with it. So
I think by that point they're beyond help. I don't know if you're going to like clean up their messy legs and heads. I'm not sure how you're going to help them, but
I wonder if maybe you could like kind of half switch it and maybe find some junk around. I mean, if this is like San Francisco, there's a lot of garbage just laying around, and maybe you could like derail the trolley.
So you're gonna blow up all the people on the trolley by?
Well, we don't know. I mean, we don't know who's on the trolley. Maybe it's an empty trolley. You know?
It's Gandhi.
I have a question about the graphic. So how accurate is it? Would our hand already be on the lever? Like,
yes, in this particular scenario.
Oh, so it's like basically the decision is sort of kind of made already.
Yeah, so this is an abstract representation of.
Just asking, just for accuracy, you know. It's hard. I don't know who the people are. Sorry.
Well, in this particular scenario, they're strangers. They're all fairly same age, same everything else. Pretty average, normal people. Never seen them before.
So they're NPCs, then it doesn't really matter what happens. You know.
Well, I never said that. But
well, you said they're all the same, and like.
Well, I mean, like they're normal, ordinary people.
It's everyone else on this panel.
Oh Lord.
If all lives being equal and there are no legal repercussions, I would pull it. But if there are legal repercussions, I would be a little more wary.
I see.
I love how the ESTP was like, I'll immediately act. Yeah. And the extroverts were like, I'll pull the lever. And then the introverts are like, if I just sit long enough, maybe something will happen. Maybe Taylor will come and pull the lever for me, so I don't have to do it.
I want to
pull it immediately.
Yeah, this would be an
even think about consequences like laws or something like that. Just
it would be. We're going around.
Oh, what did you say, Ron? I couldn't hear.
I just would pull it.
Yeah.
You pull it. Just, I was going to say that it'd be an interesting problem if like all the introverts say no, pull it, and all the extroverts say do pull it when we're even split. But it seems like pull it is one. I think. I may have missed it. I'm going to pull it anyway. I'm the guy pulling. I'm the actual one.
The STPs are pulling it for sure, I think.
Okay.
I think if we get down to like morals and ethics, like I'm not a particularly religious person, but I was raised in the Midwest of America, so you can probably guess the kind of way I was raised. And so you kind of try and value life. So if you could minimize death, that seems like the right thing to do. You think that the minimum of death, but I mean, if the one person was like a young child and the other 5 people were like 90-year-olds on their way back from dialysis or something, you know, I mean, you know, who do you pick then, you know? But we don't apparently know that in this situation. So
I think the crux of the problem is you're doing the thing by killing the 1, and you're not doing the thing by killing the 5. But I view inaction. If you have both outcomes at your disposal, your inaction is action in my mind. So you're still doing the thing.
Well, I think we're all assuming here that we agree that there's at least some free will in the world, that we even could do anything. I mean, if you look at this
too deep.
Well, if you look at it from like the mechanistic kind of, you know, deterministic Cartesian model, you know, what's it matter? You might as well just, whatever you do, you were going to do. It was all planned out, which kind of doesn't make sense, that argument, because who planned it then? You know, if you have free will, then you would get to decide. Now, I personally think free will and determinism kind of coexist. So,
I don't think you used the word Cartesian properly. anyway.
The reason I asked the accuracy of the diagram is like, if I were a little bit further away, then I could lie to myself about what the result could have ended up being if I didn't pull or if I did pull. But if my hand's like right on it, there's not much wiggle room for me to lie to myself. So that's the only thing.
It's interesting.
I never noticed, but they're actually, the wheels are moving and the mouths are moving on animations.
It makes it more real. Damn.
Yeah. And if it were really this close, you'd only have like a split second to choose whether or not to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think most people would probably kind of freeze. I don't think they'd know what to do. You have to take. It's going to take a fraction of a second or whatever to kind of realize what's going on.
It's kind of like when people will say they'll stick up to the bully, and it makes sense to say that, but when it actually happens, I wonder how many people would actually do the thing, like the noble thing.
Yeah. So how about I ask Brittany, pull it or not?
Oh, now it's more real. Damn. 1 second decision. Okay, 1 second decision. I'm gonna pull it.
Okay, Taylor. I said pull it. Yeah. Brady.
I'd probably pull it. Yeah.
Okay, and Ron. Well, you're outvoted anyway, Ron.
Yeah, I'll pull it.
Okay, sorry. What's his name? Bob. Oh, sorry, Bob.
That's Ben.
Oh,
Ben. Oh, poor Ben. 73% of people would agree with you. 27% disagree. Of 13.5 million votes. Okay, so here's a new one. Oh no, a trolley headed toward 5 people. You could pull the lever to divert it to their track, killing 4 people instead. What do you do?
Same thing for the same reasons.
I think at this point, 4 and 5, you really in a split second wouldn't be able to tell which group was bigger than the other. So I just stand back.
I mean, that's true. If you can't figure it out, if you don't know that there's a difference, then I'm not going to pull the lever either. But I think the question assumes that you do know that.
this one feels heavier. Like, I think even if I knew there was a difference, like there's 1% difference, I don't think I would pull it for this one because it's like just one life. It's the other one is like clear to me. It's like, you know, I could live with myself a little bit. This one would be a bit harder for me to live with myself because it's a little bit of playing. I feel more like I'm playing God here than the other one. Like the other one was like a little bit more clear cut. Yeah, in my opinion. Like one life, it's like too close. 4 or 5, it's like, yeah.
Well, the person who's really playing God is the crow bastard who tied these people up.
It was Joyce.
Exactly. I'm the puppet master.
Yeah, we did together. Yeah. Ron, what are your
truly
thoughts?
the morally ambiguous ones here.
Here I would again pull it as long as I know the number, then I will pull it anyway.
Oh, the STPs are bold. My gosh.
Yeah. So I think we've agreed to pull it.
It's a split vote, yeah. Yeah, Ron and Taylor would pull it. Brady and Brittany are like ambivalent.
Yeah. Let's pull it. 4 bends.
A trolley is headed towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, but then your life savings will be destroyed. What do you do?
Oh shit. At this point, I think I'd pull it because my life savings isn't that big right now.
I was gonna say this has a lot more to do with like this brings in another dimension.
Yeah.
If we did this panel full of SJs who have been like saving their life savings since they were little kids, they might have a little bit of a different feeling. The IS teacher's like, no, I've been working my whole life.
Maybe mean like 40 years. I don't know. But even so, no, I won't do it. Yeah, I will. I will divert. So, yeah. Right? Diverts money, kills my money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think I'd pull it and destroy the money, but I'm not a YouTuber or a TikTok or anything, but if I had my phone on me, I'd try and film it because you might be able to monetize it and get more money back in the long run.
That is true.
So you never know. I mean, it could go viral and go fund me, and next thing you know, you're living it up.
Might be a good time to become one then.
You're a hero. You're on the news. You're living it large.
One of the people you saved is Warren Buffett. There's a lot of ways this could play out.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's raining money, guys.
I see it as an opportunity to grow my wealth if done properly.
Yeah. I wonder if like an ENTJ would be confident that if they destroy their life savings, they can just make it up like next week. They can double their money, whatever. Yeah. Anyway. So I would have ticket. Ron, you agree?
Yeah, I mean, the first thought I had in mind was now it's getting unrealistic. But here I probably still would be fine with my life savings gone because I can just earn them again. Yeah, so
I feel like the Joker just burning a big pile of money.
Somehow that one hurt more.
Oh no, a trolley is headed towards 5 people. You can pull the lever and divert it to the other track, sacrificing yourself instead. What do you do? That's pretty badass that you're knocking the lever with your head. You're gonna get some sort of is it CTE or like when football players get like head injuries?
Yeah, that's definitely what you're worried about in this situation. Like you're going to die, but more importantly, you're going to get head trauma.
They're on their own.
Okay, now for the first time, I want to know the weight of the trolley. I want to know like probability of survival.
It's going to cut you into pieces.
Yeah.
They're those one-off cases, you know.
Okay. Assuming some miracle is not going to happen, you will probably die. What would you do?
See, this is a tough one because if I didn't know the people at all, I mean, I have a desire for self-preservation, you know. So if they were complete strangers, it's a tough one, man. I value my life quite a bit. And first of all, like, why the hell are we on these tracks? What did we do? You know, like, we're all tied up on these tracks. Like,
maybe you pissed Joyce off.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You declined my invite to participate in a panel.
It's so interesting that now when we're the ones in this place, we're now considering all these other things that we weren't before.
Me and Ron aren't.
You guys are just, nah, we're good.
I mean, this kind of stuff happens a lot in like war. People sacrifice themselves for their, you know, their comrades or whatever. But they know each other. They're brothers in arms or whatever. So that's different. But if they're strangers, like that's a tough one. It's like I don't know what the value of their life is. I know what the value of mine is, and that might be selfish, but hey, that's what allowed humans to get where we are in life. Is a lot of us were selfish over the years. We had a desire to survive, so that's a strong one to overcome.
I've suddenly gotten this strong need for more context, you know? Like, is it nighttime? Where is this located? Do my family know that I'm out there?
They have no idea. It's daytime.
Is there some benefit from my death? Or will I just die and be like, eh?
Yeah. There is no context. You wake up, this is the scenario you find yourself in. You had a really wild night. You went out clubbing, and this is where you ended up.
I love how the extroverted intuition users are trying to add as much context as possible.
Well, it starts to get important. I mean, if you're talking about ethics, I mean, where does ethics come from? But it comes from like a shared culture. So, you know, it's kind of important. You know, if you don't, what am I trying to say here? You know, ethics come from a shared culture. So I feel like we're projecting more of our morals. Ethics, I feel like I could be wrong. This is just me kind of thinking on the spot, but I feel like ethics is more of a reflective thing about what has happened, whereas we use our morals to guide us and we reflect on things to see if our morals, which are based on our culture, was the ethical thing to do in that particular situation. So
I think the actual truth of it is the ethics comes from Greek and morality comes from Latin. And then people think, oh, they must have different meanings, but really they're just the same thing, more or less.
No, I think they are, but I'm kind of differentiating them in the sense that there's a time element to everything, and I think that'd be a good way to kind of look at it. Like I said, I'm kind of thinking here on the spot, but yeah, I feel like there's maybe something a little bit different. I'd have to look them up. I'm not really concerned about where the words come from. I'm concerned about how we use them today and how we choose. I mean, how ethical is it if we don't even have a full understanding of, the words or the culture or anything? So,
well, this is the realm. What you're talking about is called meta ethics, which is like the ideas behind ethics. Because in actual moral philosophy, there's applied ethics, which includes thought experiments like this. There's normative ethics, which is like general rules like ideology and religion and things like categorical and consequential morality. And then there's meta ethics, which is questions like what is the good? How do we know what good is? Is good even real? That sort of thing. Yeah. But anyway, as we're sitting here having this discussion and having these complex thoughts, all these people have died. Like, we did not have time to think about this in this situation.
The question is, do you have a hero complex or do you not?
I for sure don't have a hero complex. I mean, for me, it's really about the context here. So if I'm the one at fault who did this trolley, which goes in this other direction, then I would for sure pull it because I'm the one responsible. But if it's a total strangers, I don't know them and I'm not responsible for it, then I would just think, okay, let the flow of time just do their thing, and then it just happens.
Yeah. So it's interesting how Ron cares about context too, but he thought about it in his own head. So it's more of like he came to the conclusion of what the context would be, and he kind of like led with the conclusion. Whereas like with ENTPs and INTPs, like the context is easier spoken out loud to discuss in a sense. But anyways, what is everyone's thoughts? So poll, final thoughts. Ron.
How about this? Thumbs up they live, thumbs down they die.
Yes, in that case, total strangers are not responsible, so do nothing.
Yeah, I agree. If they're strangers, I don't know why they're there. Maybe I'm there as a mistake and they're there for the right reasons. I don't know. But if they're like family or somebody that I shared some type of meaningful relationship, I think I would probably sacrifice myself for something like that.
Yeah. Taylor?
And I'm going to, I read into the lack of context, right? And I interpret that as being all else neutral. So I'm treating them as strangers. We don't know why we're there. It's daytime for whatever reason. And I'm not hitting the lever.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I think I will let it go.
No, it's sorry if I bends.
It's been a bad day for Ben's.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just wanted to point out it was Taylor that called them Bens. I called them Bobs.
Oh, did you? They're Bobs now?
No, they were Bobs, but you called them Bens. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
We can change it up. Ben doesn't need to carry all the weight.
Yeah.
Well, now they're monos now, right?
Okay, now it's the choice.
Why was it Ben? Why was the name Ben?
Arbitrarily.
Oh.
Oh, really? I thought you were talking about a different Ben that we know, but okay.
It wasn't arbitrary. I just didn't want to call it on the spot. It was antagonistically, I guess.
Anyway, now it's the Mona Lisa. How much do you care about art?
Don't care.
Oh, not at all.
I don't care about the Mona Lisa. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, the Mona Lisa's toast.
Well, there's plenty of copies of that picture out there. I don't think anybody's going to forget what it looked like. And the fact that it sits in a museum with all this other art, I mean, all that stuff is actually kind of precariously placed. I mean, if one of those museums was to burn down, that could be gone in another year anyways or something. So.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, Leonardo. Ugh. You are all uncultured Philistines.
And just when we changed it to Bob.
So now you'll get $500,000 if you save this rich man. Or at least he's offering you that. He could be lying. let's say you think he's not.
I like how $500,000 is considered rich. I mean, it seems like it'd be much more than that now.
What a
The average
cheapskate.
the average home is like not much cheaper than that, at least in the States. So.
Let's kill him just for the war offer.
So you gotta adjust for inflation, or else
Yeah.
you're gone, rich man.
You're gonna have to offer me more than that. I don't know.
I feel offended that he's trying to bribe me, actually. Like, that just turns me off from the get-go. Like, if he was, like, honestly rationalizing with me, but, like, how am I supposed to feel? So then I get $500,000, but then I pulled in the night someone died, and I have to live with that.
Mhm.
I would just feel so, like, gross. So
Well, and it's
So
gonna be
now you're
taxed
choosing
anyway.
him out of anger. Now is it murder?
no, but I am not touching anything. I'm just letting life go, so it's not murder. But it's low-key like him sort of him trying to bribe me is a little annoying, I think.
I'm not offended by it. And I think that if I'm in the situation, I've got perfect knowledge, and so my options are a person dies and I get no money, or a person dies and I get money. I'll probably take the money.
And Brady?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a tough one. I don't know if I'd be quite offended that he offered me the money, but I think it'd be kind of I don't know. It just kind of showed that he was really scared, and I don't know. That's a tough one. I mean, I don't need the money. I mean, I could use $500,000, but I don't need it. So, I mean, in that case, I think I just kind of let the natural course of. I mean, how do I know which way the switch goes? This is all assuming I know how to work a switch and everything, and you know, I might think I'm killing the other guy, but I accidentally turned it the wrong way or something. So I don't know. I think at this point I just go into observer mode and just go, we'll see what happens.
Not today, Jigsaw.
I love how now you're thinking about this. You didn't think about this like when you were potentially going to die. Like if you knew how to use it.
I find it interesting how Brady was like, when it was the life savings thing, he was like, what money, what life savings? I don't know. But now he's saying it's $500,000. It's like, I don't need that money. I don't need that much money. I'm fine.
I didn't say I don't like money. I don't. It's not gonna. I don't think it'd sway me to save someone because they offered me money.
Yeah.
Like you say, I mean, you don't. They might be lying. If it's done in any kind of official way, I'm gonna have to pay taxes. You know, and it's just. I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
Me and Jonathan are estimating your net worth to be well over $500,000 is what's happening.
No, that's not the case. But
we found him, Jonathan. This is the next mark.
Yeah.
I'm the rich man laying there. I'm not the person pulling the lever. I'm the one offering you the money.
If you do pull the lever, you can donate some of the money to, like, let's say mosquito nets in a third world country where you'll save thousands of people and still get to keep a lot of the money too.
That's if the money makes it to the people that it's supposed to get to. I'm kind of skeptical of that sometimes.
Yeah.
I think
Solid rationalization, though.
Yeah. But
I'd rather help people in my community where I can actually like visually confirm the effect of helping people. It's nothing against people in third world countries, but I have no clue if that money is even ever going to make it there.
I actually agreed to let the rich man die at the moment Brady said I may have to do taxes.
I think
too
what
tedious
bugs
to take his money.
I think what bugs me about the rich man is that like his first plea wasn't like I'm a good person or something like this. It was hair money. That makes me sus about how good of a person he is, or like, you know, maybe he does deserve to die. Like, why is your first plea just bribery? I think that's what irks me a little bit. But
yeah. So Ron, what do you have to say?
It's a really tricky one because for me it would really depend on how he is asking to save him. That's really the main thing. So if I feel like it's like he's playing a role, then I probably would not pull it, because if he plays a role, he's lying to me. And and also if he does it in a really annoying or needy way, I would also get annoyed and just do nothing.
Mm.
And
Yeah, would you
especially if
try-
he wants to force me to do something, no, I don't care about the money. Too bad.
He offered you
It-
$500,000, but it was in an annoying way, so he has to die.
Yeah, that's funny. It's almost like you have PDA, like it's pathological demand avoidance. Like whenever someone tells you to do something, you're like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm not going to do it because you told me.
When it goes in this direction, for sure.
I think we're all in the unanimous that the rich man dies. Look up. Splat.
Most people would
45.
actually take the money.
Save. Yes, slightly more than half of people would save it.
Oh no, a trolley is headed towards 5 lobsters. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, running over a cat instead. What do you do?
I'd like to point out that Joyce's cat just did something a few days ago that made me want to run over the cat.
So my cat both shit and peed in my room. And, dude.
You let your cats in?
So you're killing the cat.
On certain days.
The lobsters that get to survive today.
Well, I'm killing them both because where I live, there's so many feral cats that we don't need anymore. And then when the cat dies, I'm going to go scoop up those lobsters and eat them for dinner, or something.
I thought about that actually.
Because I've only had lobster like once in my life, and I remember it being pretty good. So
yeah, I mean, I had the same thought. This is like you get to then eat the lobsters if you don't smush them all over the place.
Yeah.
But I mean, to answer the question as I think it's intended, I'd probably just let it go. I don't know that I feel particularly strongly either way.
Do we know if the cat's been spayed and neutered? Because that might affect my choice.
Well, you'd have to go over there and check, but then you risk being run.
Is it somebody's pet cat, or is it just?
You don't know. You don't know. Don't have enough time.
There's enough cats in the world. So. I like cats. I have cats, but they're kind of more like a farm animal at my house than they are a pet.
Yeah, and to that point, I'll let it go in the off chance it is somebody's pet. I know nobody's got 5 pet lobsters they're missing.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd be surprised. There's a few YouTubers out there I've watched who've bought lobsters at stores and end up raising them for years and like get really close to them and feed them by hand and stuff. So it's a thing.
Brittany.
I don't care. Sorry.
So as the lobsters are not mammals and I can't relate to them, and it's more work to pull the lever, I just do nothing.
No, it's glad. 84% of people agree with us.
6 people hate cats.
I guess I might be one of them.
A trolley is headed towards 5 people who are sleeping and won't feel pain. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, running over someone who is wide awake instead. What do you do?
For me personally, it doesn't really make a difference from the earlier we had before. So in that case, I just pull it. If they get run over a train, yes, for a few seconds they will be hurt, quite some pain there, but then it's done anyway.
Same.
I think it's the same as the last one. Sleeping doesn't matter to me, really.
All right. And Brittany?
Yeah, I have to push past the fact that them sleeping doesn't matter. I feel like it does kind of, like when I'm going to hear the crying of the one person dying, but realistically, the one person I should pull. They should go.
Okay.
Should you or will you?
I would, yeah.
Oh, 51% disagree.
Oh no, a trolley is headed towards 5 people who tied themselves to the track. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing one person who accidentally tripped on the track instead. What do you do?
This one person tripped onto the track while they were tied up.
So these are the types of people who like to block roads and stuff like that. They're like trying to make a statement. Yeah, If you
Oh.
put yourself on the track, then see you later, buddy. You idiot. You don't mess around.
They might even just want to die.
Yeah.
So,
If they willingly put themselves on the track to make some type of statement, well, that's just a stupid thing to do.
Brady's gonna back it up and hit him twice.
Maybe, yeah.
I'll let the 5 who did it to themselves get their own reward.
All right.
They got smiles on their faces, so
Everyone's happier this
It's
way.
like some masochistic kind of kink or something. I wouldn't want to disrupt that. So
No kink shaming here.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah,
And
just from the setup, as we seem to know that they made it themselves, finding them, then I would also put them. It's their choice.
Maybe they told us in advance.
We're respecting everyone's personal choices.
Yep.
Mm.
And 76% of people will agree.
Dude, that guy looked like he got a little happy, like whoa, like when his mouth got a little smaller. I think like, oh jeez.
Oh no, a trolley is headed towards 5 people. The lever just speeds up the trolley, which might make it less painful. What do you do?
Might.
Wait.
I'm probably not going to do anything.
Really? The last couple of times.
The lever's
I
not
mean,
switching.
Okay, it's still got the same graphic. Is the lever switching it to one person or not? If it switches it,
Oh,
just-
yes. Oh, that's right. It's not my mistake. I'm
right.
confusing
So if it's just 5 people either way, I'm not going to speed up the trolley because then I do intertwine myself in the situation in a way that even though I don't think it's morally any different, I do think it could be pragmatically different.
Yeah, the main thing is they're definitely going to die. Question is, could you have an opportunity to ease their suffering?
I don't know that the speed of it would really make much of a difference, but I can see like a mercy killing. I've had to dispatch wild animals that were clearly sick, and you do it because you don't want other things to get sick, or you can tell they're suffering. So, but I don't think the speed of the trolley is going to really make much of a difference, unless it's going like really slow. Then,
But I mean, if there is no risk of like legal repercussions or anything, if you take out all the practical potential issues and make it just a moral question at its core, sure, I would push the switch. I wouldn't have an issue killing them faster than letting them die slower.
Honestly, that's what I'm thinking. The only thing I'm thinking about is like legal trouble, honestly. And then the fact that it says it might make it less painful, so then I may not have even helped them. Plus, I have like a gazillion lawsuits. It's just like not worth it. So.
Well, assume there's no legal trouble, no legal repercussion.
If no one was there, no one could see what I was doing. I wouldn't mind.
I mean, you still have to kill the other guy too because he's there. But
Yeah, he saw. But
oh, okay.
But he saw you not
get
help.
entangled like externally to have to explain to people because it kind of looks bad. Like, why did I involve myself? But yeah, I mean, they're gonna die quickly anyways, and then when they're dead, it doesn't matter. They're dead. They're not gonna feel the pain after they're dead. It's just death. It's the end. So I guess I'll just like let it go. Just
and
5 seconds difference of pain. I don't know.
Yeah, same as the others. I would not do anything because it doesn't make a real difference in that perspective.
Yeah, unless
So-
they're like asking you, please speed it up, then maybe the extroverted feeling would be like, all
So,
right.
I mean, if it
So
was
it's-
really going to actually, like speed up their death and make it maybe a little more humane, if that's the way you'd say it, then yeah, I would probably pull it. But yeah, I don't think it's going to make much difference. I don't want my fingerprints on that lever.
Well, you're already touching it. It's too late for that.
Oh, well, I had a glove on, I guess. So I was,
72% of people disagree.
Oh. Interesting.
Oh,
The trolley is headed towards one guy. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, but then your Amazon package will be late. What do you do?
Fuck that dude.
my Amazon packages are already late, so I'm going to save the guy.
It's so
Yeah.
sad that this is a question. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I want to see what the results are.
Hmm. So what do we do?
Would anybody? I was just joking for the record. I think that everybody would pull the lever, right?
Yeah.
I may not.
Depends on really. It depends on what you ordered.
And how, yeah, like there's things that I want to arrive on particular dates, like kind of an inconvenience. But I'm outvoted. I would have probably let the guy die, but everyone else says pull the lever.
You guys are so adaptable. You're like, I don't really plan for my packages to arrive at a time.
That's true. That's the difference between all these P's and this one INFJ. The J thinks ahead to these things. The P is
I
like
mean, I do pay for the Prime, the 1 day delivery thingy, so I'd be disappointed.
Yeah, no, but when I want something, I want it 5 minutes ago.
I live on a dirt road that's like covered in snow, so like I just kind of get my packages when they feel like they can drive down my driveway. So
anyway, would you kill? In this case, would you kill 5 strangers to save 1 best friend?
Not applicable. Nobody has friends anymore.
Are there legal? Like, can we hold the potential legal issues neutral?
Yes, we'll hold them neutral. We'll say that this is like, the law understands that this is an extraordinary situation you found yourself in, so they're not going to press charges or anything.
Sorry, strangers. I'm gonna save the friend.
And Brittany?
It sounds bad, but I'm thinking like it'd be very different. My decision making would be very different if it's like some random place in the middle of nowhere versus if this is going to be blasted across the news the next day.
That's that Effie.
Yeah. Damn Effie. Yeah, I couldn't live with myself like killing, was it 5 people for my best friend? Yeah, unfortunately. RIP best friend.
Yeah, I think the best friend would have to go.
Yeah, I mean, for me, as there are not many people who get in my emotional bubble, I would probably pull the lever.
The STPs are like, I'll save my best friend.
Yeah. Like, will your best friend be able to live with you after you've killed? Like, will they still be your best friend after you've killed 5 people? Like, what will they think of you?
I think
I mean, will that change the dynamics of the relationship? That is an interesting question. Probably, but I don't know. If we assume that they would never know, right? That this is a choice made in a vacuum, and there's no legal recourse, and nobody saw it, and not even the people on the tracks know. I'm saving the best friend for sure.
Let's say that they do remember it.
Well, I mean, if I call someone my best friend, I put a lot of trust in them, so I don't believe it will change.
I'd still probably do the best friend thing. Like, I would prefer them not to know, but yeah, I'm still gonna go with the best friend.
So I think Taylor would save the best friend, but everyone else would like kill the best friend.
Ron would save the best friend too.
Oh.
And I would actually as well. So.
Oh. Am I your best friend, Joyce?
Depends on what your answer is.
You see, my answer would change if you were on the track, because I think you wouldn't be able to live with me if I did it. So I wouldn't pull the lever because I know you wouldn't want me to pull the lever.
Damn, Jonathan, she killed you.
I know. Oh. Okay.
Time to get a new best friend.
Okay, now I know how Joyce feels. That by itself has changed the dynamic of this relationship.
You would never look at me the same way.
I got you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Wait. I'm not an asshole, I swear.
And that's how best friendships are stolen.
Because Jonathan's an Enneagram 1. He's all about that objective, non-emotional morality. So
I would understand the pressure of the situation, though.
He's just being nice to you.
Yeah.
Because I really prize best friendship. So if I thought that you didn't have an opinion of it, then I would pull it for my own opinion of it. But anyways, this is about the TPs, not about me. I think I always like related it to like the sexual instinct in the Enneagram. I see myself as like sexual first. The instinct is like saving precious others.
Yeah. The important thing is, I asked if it was me in the track, and you reconsidered it, which confirms that I'm not your best friend. You're my best friend, but I'm not your best.
Not yet. Not yet.
No, okay. Anyway,
a trolley is headed towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing one person instead. At least that's what you think is happening. You forgot your glasses and can't see that well. What do you do?
Well, can you see the 5 people it's going to kill?
kind of vaguely. You think that's what's happening? It could be something else. Could be a bunch of logs in the truck. I suppose if it's logs and you're...
If they're both equally... If I'm equally as confused, I'm not going to probably... I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
In this hypothetical situation, were there multiple hypothetical situations that I already went through up to this point, or is this the first one that I'm seeing?
This is the first one that you're seeing.
Okay, then I have no idea what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you don't know what's going on, it's just basically like, hey, if you see a lever, are you going to throw it? My answer is no.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually a blind person, so typically when I can't see stuff, I just do nothing. So, yeah.
Okay, an ESTP just said that they see a lever, they're not going to pull it. A random lever. I don't believe them. I think
It might be a lie.
Yeah, like a random lever is like, I want to pull that.
I'll look around first and see if I can figure out what it does. But if I can't, I might throw it.
Brady?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if I didn't know what was going on, I mean, I honestly think I would probably just freeze and wouldn't do anything. No, that's not one of the answers, but I think that's what most people would do in this case. They'd just be like, what the hell? And then it'd be over, and then you deal with the aftermath.
Yeah. And Ron?
Yeah, the question is, if I would have at least seen the trolley coming, then I knew, oh, maybe when I go there, when they go this way, then usually more people are on the track. So then in that case, I would pull the lever because that would be the expectation that the other sideway is not that occupied by people usually. So yeah, but not enough information. If I don't know anything about it at all, not even that there are 5 people, I wouldn't pull it at all. But yeah, but on the scenario, it seems we are expected to know it, so I would pull it.
So Ron would pull it, but no one else would. Am I right?
Yeah, I don't think I'd pull it. Also, I guess if we're calling how many people are on each side into question, then I think that it's also worth questioning how many people are on the trolley. If you don't know what the lever does, I mean, I guess you would,
Yeah.
Do you have to start wondering, are there people on the trolley that are going to get derailed off a cliff? I'm not going to pull it.
No. Dylan. I think there's 20 problems, by the way.
A trolley is headed towards one of your first cousins. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing 3 of your second cousins instead. What do you do?
I would first need to know what a second cousin is.
A second cousin is like the children of your first cousin. No. It's not the children of your first cousin. It's like slightly more removed than that.
It's like your mom's cousin or something. Isn't it a parent's cousin?
Oh, yeah. Something like that.
You apparently don't know them, so they're strangers to you. Which is the case in my life. I don't know.
I went to school with my second cousin, so.
But I have had cousins, first cousins. That's like, yeah, maybe their life wasn't really going anywhere anyways. So it kind of depends.
It depends on the first cousin.
It depends on the cousin, and I think I've met a few of my second cousins here and there over the years, but I don't know their names or remember them really. So that's a tough one too.
Again, this comes down to, can you do it in a vacuum? If you can make this decision in a vacuum where nobody knows, I'm probably going to choose the cousin. But I think that if it's outside of a vacuum, I don't know that I'm going to.
You mean just let it go?
If right, if the whole world's going to observe that I chose 3 people over 1 person, yeah, I don't know that.
So a second cousin is the child of
I
your
would-
parents.
I would prefer to save my cousin, but I don't know that I would risk that much.
It is interesting to think, though, like, if this was actually, like I say, I don't know the history of trolleys, but I'm assuming the early 1900s or something was their heyday. You know, this stuff would never even make it out to the media. It would be like a totally isolated story. But now it would be out before some of these people's families might even see it. So I wonder how much people's attitudes might have changed over the last 100 years.
Yeah.
Technically, your family too. So it's this is your parents had cousins, and then those cousins had kids, and that's it. So there's actually, on average, it's likely that the second cousins are younger than your first cousin, if that factors into anything. They may be kids
Or like even your age.
or some. Yeah.
Yeah, it's too close. I would just let it go. But honestly, going through all of these, I'm now starting to see a little problem, because I'm realizing that, yeah, it kind of matters if this is going to be blasted all over the world, or if it's like in the middle of a forest and no one knows. That really does impact my answer, which is a little bit questionable. But
I think my final answer is going to be I'm saving the cousin.
Okay. And Brittany, your final answer?
yeah, I'm just gonna let it go. I'm not gonna do anything.
Brady?
I mean, I probably, like I say, I tend to be more of an observer. So if that's the course it was on, I'd probably let it take out the first cousin, just because then I wasn't involved in it. So, you know, there's no expectation of me that I know how to divert trolleys or anything. So it was just kind of the way that it happened. So.
Okay. And Ron?
I would not do anything, but even if it would be published or something like that, I would still not do anything. So for me, it's actually an active decision. Save some people.
Yeah.
This one
So
feels like
basically-
playing God again for me. It's too close, I think.
I guess Taylor likes his cousins and the rest of you, right? First cousin. Anyway.
Taylor's like loyalty.
Well, also, I could also play stupid. Like, I didn't know that it would kill. I was just trying to save my cousin.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some plausible deniability baked into it, and I don't know my second cousins at all. So yeah.
A trolley is headed towards 5 elderly people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, running over a baby instead. What do you do?
First question, how old are they?
Elder.
I don't know. I mean, some people say elderly people are 80 plus. Some say 60
What's
plus.
retirement age? 68
65 in Canada.
or 65?
Oh,
Okay.
65 feels a bit young. Damn.
Depends the way you live. It is going up though. Like
Let's
everywhere.
say that all 5 people are 65.
That's not that old.
Yeah, 65 is not elderly. That one's a bit more. They have some more life in them.
They're all 70 years old.
Okay, 70.
That feels a lot older, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just 5 years, but
I think I'm gonna save the baby and let it. I'm not gonna do anything.
What? Saving the baby means you pulled the lever.
No, saving the baby means I don't touch the lever.
You can pull the lever to the track, killing a baby. So if you pull the lever, the baby dies.
Right. I'm not gonna pull the lever. The old people are getting it.
Okay.
yeah, they've lived a good life. I'm sure they want the,
They
new-
didn't. Their best years are ahead of them. The last 10 years were gonna be the best.
So that's a tough one because they, if they're 65, 70, I'm assuming they all have kids and grandkids, and there's no guarantee that that baby's going to grow up and at all. I mean, these kids die and people become drug addicts or whatever. So, and if these older people were living a good life with families, that's a tough one. I mean, I think it's easy to say to save the baby. If they were like really old, like 80, 90 plus, I mean, I would assume the older people would be like, take us out, save that baby. But 70, 65, 70 doesn't seem that old. And they probably all have families and stuff. So that's a tough one. I don't know. It'd be nice to know a little bit more, but.
So you killed the little baby? Because you
I
murdered
consider
the
it.
baby?
I mean, like with the ethics of today, just how old is the baby? It's swaddled, so it must be pretty young.
It's a fifth trimester abortion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like just a few months earlier, it was a clump of cells. So like, how much value do we put on baby's life in our culture anymore? Anyways, I don't know. That's a tough one. It's a really tough one. I have children, so I wouldn't want it to be mine. But at the same time, boy, that's a tough one because all those people probably have families of their own.
But they've had their families. They've done what they've needed to do. This baby could cure cancer, We already know that these people didn't cure cancer.
Yeah, that baby could get addicted to fentanyl. And I mean, the baby could do a lot of things, but if those 65, 70-year-olds were, assuming they were living a successful life, and by successful, I mean just, making it and being healthy. I don't mean like they're all like rich or anything. But that's a tough one. I don't know. It's one little baby. Hasn't done anything too spectacular yet.
It's a freeloader.
It's not its fault. Like, it's not its fault that it's so small. It's not its fault that it isn't, It's one thing if it was heading for the baby, but, to divert it to... Oh, no, but yeah, I wouldn't, I can't kill the baby.
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure it's, again, also context dependent a bit. And also the question is, why is the baby on the track? So it seems not to have responsible parents. So even if it survives, doesn't seem to be the best life, just from this perspective. But here, as I believe the life expectation is...
Would it make it?
Sorry. Yeah, so as the life expectation is...
difference if it would...
Is it me or is it Jonathan?
Oh yeah, Jonathan is lagging. So Jonathan, you might need to refresh your browser and come back in.
Yeah, so as life expectation is quite higher, I think people can now also get 90 or something like that. My guess is, hey, they have another 20 years to live. So I would pull the lever and indirectly kill the baby.
Well, that's a dark thing to come back to.
Plus, I mean, think of all the valuable information those older people have. I mean, we live in a culture now where most of the people our age or younger are really smart with computers and stuff, but we have like a world that's crumbling, and we're going to need people who are good at building things. And those people might be, construction workers or something that we might need to, kind of get good at again here soon, because, we don't live online all the time. So
I was trying to ask, does it make a difference if you knew for a fact that the baby would cure cancer or do something spectacular versus it's just a random baby that will have an ordinary, happy life?
I mean, if we knew, yes, then I would do nothing.
I mean, don't we know the cure for cancer? Like, isn't it preventative? Just try and live as healthy as possible. Getting terrible stuff out of our food and stuff. I don't know if it's going to cure cancer. I don't know. Boy, they've been working on that a long time and they haven't figured it out. So I'd be skeptical.
But the thing too is that the fact that this baby grows up knowing its life story, where it nearly died, but it didn't. I think that would give it just such a drive to be an amazing, awesome force in the world and do something good in the world. Like that driving force that it would have. I think
it could have the reverse effect. I think it could. I mean, I see what you're saying, but I think it could have the reverse effect. Like Like why was I spared, and now I have to live up to be something special because my life was spared or something. And I could see it making somebody sink into depression or something.
Yeah, basically, is the baby an ENTJ or an ISFP? Who knows?
And I like how the NTPs are arguing with each other. They're like, well, the other side could be true too.
Yeah. So anyway, what's the general consensus?
It's do nothing.
Do nothing. Okay.
Put it.
And now you have to raise the baby.
Wait, we weren't told that part.
A trolley
you
is
just killed its grandparents and custodians.
Exactly. Now it's yours. A trolley is barreling towards 5 identical clones of you. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, sacrificing yourself instead. What do you do?
There's only one me. I'm letting it take out the clones.
Yeah, for sure.
I would take out the clones myself. That's so weird.
I'd even slow the trolley down if that was required.
Oh, God.
What if you were not tied up and you just had, would you kill the clones just on general principle of
for fun?
Yeah. Just to kill the clones.
I mean, I don't think I would consent to being cloned, so I would maybe want to get rid of them or something.
Right.
No, the clones haven't done anything to me, and I don't want to get blood on my clothes.
But right now it's you or them, so
yeah, it's me. I win.
But then if you don't kill the clones, then they could kill you, and then one of them takes your place. That's really scary.
Oh, they need your identity.
Which is too bad for them because your ID and stuff is in your wallet, in your pocket, all destroyed when it's run down.
Well, this is inaccurate because I would assume if I was cloned, it would come out as quite a bit younger than me. Like it wouldn't.
Oh, they're clones of you. I missed that part. I thought they were just clones of each other.
I mean, are we talking like Star Trek? Like they're just copying me as I am now, or they're actually cloning me, and then some woman is gestating the babies? They would be way younger than me.
Well, it says identical, so I guess identical to the present.
Yeah.
But I don't see how that would work.
Don't even worry about it. This is science-y stuff. It's way past your ability.
No, I mean they cloned Dolly years ago. Notice nobody ever talks about that anymore.
Does she?
Did they just stop cloning, or do they actually have clone armies?
They actually found that the clones were less healthy. Dolly was less healthy than ones.
Yeah, and I know that, but that so they just stopped doing it. You never hear about it anymore. It's kind of a little.
I think they do. They just found it wasn't really that.
You never hear about it, but yet Tupac keeps making CDs.
So they're going to be less healthy versions of me. Yeah, the clones have got to go.
Well, they got to go.
I'm assuming this is a science fiction scenario where they're identical clones. They might even have identical memories.
I think that trolley would be flying. I think the trolley would have safety features built in by this point. I mean, if we're cloning people, we're still using trolleys that can kill people. I mean,
I love how each of these we give different context. If we give everyone we put a specific context around each one.
If the NTPs could get that under control.
I think it's okay. I will not throw my fellow NTP under the bus.
Yeah.
Hey, underneath the bus is where all the interesting things are. I don't mind being under there.
So, Ron, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, there's only one of me, so do nothing.
Yeah, okay. Unanimous, do nothing.
Yeah, it's creepy to have versions of you.
Yeah, I want them dead. Splash.
They'd probably try to bang my girlfriend too. Fuck that.
Oh my god.
I'm assuming I'm getting their life savings, right? Since I'm next of kin. So I mean, that's another get rich potential scheme there.
Who knows?
A trolley is headed towards a mysterious box with a 50% chance of containing 2 people. You can pull the lever to divert it into the other track, hitting a mystery box with a 10% chance of 10 people instead. What do you do?
I mean, now we're getting into the ethics of gambling.
Why? It's a normal math, right? The better option is if you pull it.
Gambling with lives is the best form of gambling.
Yeah,
Basically.
I'm gonna let it go straight. Yeah, I'll take the 50% chance on 2 people. I'll gamble with fewer lives.
I think I'd do that as well.
Yeah, I'll do nothing.
And
Ron?
just from the probability, I will pull it for sure.
Yeah. Like probability, basically the probability, 90% chance you won't kill anyone, I assume.
That's what I was
Versus
going to ask. What is the 90% chance? It just tells us the 10%.
That
That's true.
nobody dies.
Okay.
Yeah, although we are presuming that, like, it could be like, there's not 10 people in this box, there's only 9 people, or there's 12. But we're assuming 10 or nothing, or 2 or nothing. But I think we've agreed to nothing.
Yeah.
You just maybe kill 2 people, who knows?
A trolley is headed towards 5 sentient robots. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, killing 1 human instead. What do you do?
Kill the robots.
I mean, are we talking like Data here from Star Trek?
Sure.
Because I'm going. I want 5 Datas in my life. That would be awesome. I could get a lot done.
But he's Data wants to do his own thing, though.
Or we could be talking the robot from Alien that attacks Sigourney Weaver.
Ash. Well, Ash was conflicted. Ash was acting under orders. Ash was an SJ.
That's right.
Yeah. The thing with Ash was he was an SJ. He's an SJ type robot. So he was conflicted.
That's why we got to take him out.
Yeah. SJ.
It depends on the robot. Yeah, I mean, we're talking Data or Rosie from like the Jetsons or something. I mean, geez, that's
I mean, Bishop from the sequel was more of an ISTP. He was more independent minded. So it depends on the personality. Yeah. The point, though, is that they're self-aware, they're sentient life forms, but they're not.
I'm impressed with the depth of your nerd knowledge. That was pretty good to know all the robot names from Aliens.
Oh, we've barely begun to scratch the surface of my nerd knowledge.
I was gonna say I wasn't even thinking that deep. I was just like robots, humans. I wasn't personalizing it or anything. So yeah.
Are these robots weaponized at all?
I guess not.
Other than extreme strength, maybe.
Well, they don't have arms.
What are the robots? Where do the robots' ethics come from?
You'll have to ask them. In order to ask them, you have to say
Google Gemini.
Yeah, I just wonder a bit how expensive they are and what use do they have when they survive the robots. I mean, if they can save other people, then I might save them. But if they're not just doing household chores or something like that, then I don't do anything.
The interesting part is that you're considering a lot of people. You're all considering like the practicality of the robots, like what use are the robots. When the point is, the robots are sentient and self-aware. Like they're basically theoretically have the same rights as humans because they're self-aware.
Is this like in the future though, when we get super close to them and we have breakfast with them and stuff, and we're all one? Like, how connected are we? Or are they like other? Are they one of us?
They're sentient. The point is they're self-aware. Whether they're having breakfast of it, they're almost like alien life forms.
I actually have trouble conceptualizing them being sentient the same way. And so when I hear that or read that, like I understand the question, but I automatically sort of discount it like, no, they're not.
Yeah, I find robots being sentient in the same way that humans or other living beings is a little dubious, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind in a few years when they're like coming to my door with guns attached to them. But I don't know. I have a hard time actually really believing that they would ever be like a human.
So we'll kill them because no, you're not.
Back to the scrap pile.
Yeah. 85%.
Dude, they splatted. They're juicy robots.
Yeah. Oh, racist.
A trolley is headed towards 3 empty trolleys worth 900,000. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, hitting one empty trolley worth 300,000 instead. What do you do?
How much
Presuming
risk?
there's no risk and I like whoever owns the trolleys, then I'll minimize the damage. This all depends 100% on who own. If I like them, I'll save them the money. If I don't like them, I won't save them the money. And if I don't know them at all, but don't have any risk, then I guess I'll save the stranger the money. So I'm going to pull the lever and divert it to one.
Yeah, I mean, if there's no life involved, I mean, I don't really want to have to pay for more new trolleys. So I don't even ride the damn things. I've never been on one, so I guess I don't really want to keep paying. I'm assuming they're not privately funded, so I'm probably paying for them in the long run.
I do wonder if you're meant to think there's people on the first trolley.
Well, then they should have put that, because I don't see anybody in the windows or anything.
Agree.
I almost feel like I wouldn't want to touch anything though, because then I'm going to be liable maybe for $300,000.
That's a good point. Like, I'm not taking on any liability.
Just watching it happen. So
Yeah.
why would I get myself like entangled in this?
Actually, that's a better answer for me too. Like, if there's any risk of me getting entangled in it, then I'm not. This is your problem.
Well, I think that applies to every one of these scenarios. I mean, you getting involved is,
It does.
I think it's different though. I think it's a bit different for this.
It is different. Yeah.
With life, it's quite it's a bit different. I just don't care this much if it has nothing to do with me for this.
Exactly. One. I'm willing to take absolutely zero risk to save somebody else that I don't know money.
Yeah, I just wonder if there's anything else to that situation. I just wonder about this liability thing, and I also wonder, are you all based in the US where it's more harder to get the suit and so on? Because I wonder if it's the same in Germany actually. Because it might be different in Germany, but yeah, I would in the end pull it to reduce the damage.
So Ron would pull the lever.
Yeah.
And Brady, would you pull the lever?
I mean, yeah, I think so. I do agree, though, that like I really kind of don't care as much. But yeah, I mean, assuming these are publicly funded things, I'm going to have to pay for it through taxes. I'm going to try and minimize damage. Yeah, and pull the lever.
Okay, well, I want to see a big explosion, so I want more damage. That's the main thing.
It's going to be...
Boom.
Wow, that one splat. I don't think
that's okay. This is what I've been meaning to comment the entire time. It's really been irking me. Like 5 lobsters, 5 people, just one splat. The splat never changes.
I think the trolley that hit the 3 would be the most damaged one, since
it's all the same.
Hitting like a heavier thing.
I expected to see like a monster truck kind of demo.
I don't know if there's more after this. There might be, but I think this will be the last one, regardless. I could talk about a couple of other scenarios, but this will be the last one we'll show.
A trolley is releasing 100 kg of CO2 per year, which will kill 5 people over 30 years. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, hitting a brick wall and decommissioning the trolley. What do you do?
I turn it back around at the person who asked this propaganda-esque question.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not convinced that 100 kg of CO2 is going to kill 5 people in 30 years.
Me neither. The trolley lives.
Yeah. Most trolleys are electric anyways, aren't they?
Yeah. Anyway, there may be people that will do that.
But the thing is, hold on. I mean, like, even if it's wrong, even if it's not true, you don't lose anything. If you destroy the trolley, it's just a trolley that's destroyed. Like even if it's wrong and it will not kill 5 people over 30 years.
I guess the question is, are you an eco-terrorist? This is
nice try, Feds.
I think functionally you're an eco-terrorist in that situation. You go destroy
everybody who destroys the trolley is getting a visit tonight.
Yeah. I do. Actually, maybe 25. Okay.
38.
I know what I said. I'm just going to keep going.
You're a reincarnated being who will eventually be reincarnated as every person in this classic trolley problem. What do you do?
So basically, if you let them die, you got to die 5 times. Whereas if you do it once, if you kill yourself, you only got to die once.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I actually kind of do believe in reincarnation, but not that I'm going to come back as a unique individual. I mean,
Yeah,
I believe in it in the sense that my body's made up of atoms, and when I die, they don't just disappear. They break down and become new things, and I will become many new things. So I kind of reject the premise of this question. But other people may not. I know there's some cultures that believe in this, so I don't mean to diminish their beliefs. But for me, I don't believe that this is.
But if you pretend that you did.
But that's a really difficult thing for me to do because I just don't.
Would you pull the lever and die once, or would you let it go and die 5 times? I mean, I would choose to die once instead of choosing to die 5 times.
Yeah, but if you believe in reincarnation, then you.
I mean, but you can engage.
Keep doing that over and over.
You can engage the premise without actually having to believe in the premise, right?
I don't know. Maybe you can. I don't know.
I mean, I can here. I couldn't with the sentient robots, I suppose, but
I think the sentient robot seems more realistic than me coming back as a unique individual person.
Yeah, I think I don't go as deep as well. Like I'm just thinking 5 times the pain or 1 time the pain.
I think that's as deep as it needs to go.
Yeah.
And so then 1 time the pain.
A lot of pauses needed to be there.
Yeah, basically, would you be run down by a trolley once, or would you run down by a trolley 5 times?
So now it's going. Not only am I going to reincarnate to one unique individual, I'm going to reincarnate in some type of linear fashion of these 5 people on track right in a row. I mean, those chances of this are getting pretty astronomical. So this is a hard one.
For the sake of the question, chance has been taken entirely out of it. You don't need to know how. You just know that it will happen. You will come back as each of the 5 people.
Okay, so then when the last of the 5 people dies, then I'll reincarnate as someone else, and at some point I'm going to die as them. So I really don't see how.
God damn it.
It's a never-ending thing. I mean,
well,
I for sure find it amazing. I mean, you have 5 additional lives. Just imagine that.
Yeah, 5 additional deaths.
Doesn't matter. 5 more lives. Hello. 5 more situations to experience, even if at the end you always have this cool death. But overall.
Oh, see, I thought you would reincarnate as the next guy in line, and then once the train killed him first, you'd reincarnate to next, and then the next and the next. Like you wouldn't get to go live that life.
Well, I guess theoretically you would if it's reincarnation, like you having a full life. I mean, I suppose these 5 guys could have all terrible lives. They made some mistake that brought them here after all. Or rather, you made the mistake 5 or 6 times. You made the mistake 6 times. All of you are dummies. All of you in the situation 6 times, despite being reincarnated. I mean, none of you learned your lesson.
That's incredibly sad. I like how Brady's TI is like, I don't see how this makes any sense. I refuse.
Yeah, I'm just it just for me it's just like I'm not going that deep. It's just 5 times pain or 1 time pain.
That's where I was at.
But if the trolley's going fast, it should be less painful. So maybe we'll just.
Excuse me, you rejected.
You add so much context to each different, like it changes. Every different one changes. Then we can't really compare them against each other.
Brady, you rejected that premise in an earlier question when the question was, does the trolley go faster? You pull it.
Yeah. Right.
You know what? We're putting Brady on the track.
Yeah,
that's fine. I mean, I'm already on the track 6 times, it looks like. So
we're gonna make it 7 if you don't choose an answer.
I don't know, man. I just don't think I can. I just think it's a silly question.
All right, and Ron, what do you think?
Yes, I want to have 5 additional lives, so I will pull it.
Well, you're getting 5 additional lives either way. The question is, do they end in violent death like this?
I mean, I also experienced 5 more times. That's fine by me. I will want to pull it.
You're definitely going. No, you're definitely going to reincarnate no matter what. Question is, do you kill yourself once or do you kill yourself 5 times?
Just once.
Okay. Once, everyone. Except for Brady.
I mean,
But
yeah, that one.
I guess honestly, Brady would have killed. Well, yeah, kill the 5 people. Deciding, taking all that time
Yeah,
to decide to be over.
Brady
anyway.
would be confused by the question, and so the 5 would die.
Like that.
Yeah, 50-50.
Oh no, a trolley is headed towards nothing. You kind of want to prank the trolley driver. What do you do?
I mean, I'm down for a prank. I'll throw it.
I'm for sure enticed to pull the prank, but it's just okay. What happens if I do it? And there are consequences. I mean, I know for sure in Germany one story where someone was not doing the usual train drive, and they got fired by that because they didn't follow the protocol.
Yeah, I guess that depends if you're American or German. Like the culture.
I mean, Americans only have cars, so.
Yeah, the Americans don't care about their infrastructure. Germans are like, you will be punished for jaywalking.
Does the trolley driver have a sense of humor? These are the questions. You see, Brady, I feel like I'm getting into your realm here. These are the questions you really need to be asking, to contextualize it. I'm pulling your legs, sorry.
Well, for me, I'm not a hardcore rail fan. I like rails a little bit. I watched some documentaries or played some rail video games, and that's a big no-no. You don't switch tracks. That's a huge no-no. You don't do that. There's a reason why they have protocols. And you don't just go switch tracks. I mean, in modern, I don't know how trolleys work, but in trains, you're like radioing in, and there's like a whole process in train control towers, and so I wouldn't do that. I think that.
But it does say harmless.
But it's not harmless because then they have to back the trolley up, and it takes time, and that's pumping more of that deadly CO2 into the air. So I could kill 10 people. So and trains are supposed to run on schedule. So then maybe somebody's not getting on the trolley at the right time to get to their doctor's appointment for their dialysis. That's going to die later on the tracks as an old person, anyways. So
I do hate it when the train's late.
Yeah, so I think it might be. I don't think anybody in the train world would think it would be funny if you did that. You'd be the only one who thought it was funny. So, and that'd be kind of a dick move. So,
yeah. So, Brittany.
I'm thinking of this as like a little game on my computer. I'm not thinking such like real life, like actual lives and delays and stuff.
That's why you don't run the rail train control tower.
I'm just like on my little, Okay, serious life. With serious implications of people being late for their doctor appointments, I will just let it go. I won't pull the lever.
Okay.
I will do nothing. Yeah.
I agree. If we're in real life, I'm not going to do anything. But if it's just a prank, right? Like the question says, then I'll
take it as the question. Yeah, I wasn't like giving it all. I don't know.
65%.
Most people have a sense of humor. they pull it. A trolley is headed towards a good citizen. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, running over someone who litters. What do you do?
Wow.
I saved the litterer because I think everybody's too self-righteous.
Yeah, if the bad citizen is littering, I'm not gonna kill them because they're littering. Like, yeah.
Well, what did the good citizen do to deserve death?
Oh, that's true. They're good. Fate. I'm joking.
I'd get rid of the litterer. And I say that because, like I said, I live on this dirt road in the country. It's quite beautiful, and it's constantly being littered, and you can tell it's probably the same person because it's always like a big gulp from 7-Eleven or wherever they get that stuff. So it's always in roughly the same spot, and it's just kind of like it's the same person every few days driving down that road, and it just gets tiresome.
It's a pet peeve then that's affecting your decision here.
Yeah, I'm not so anal. I mean, I understand we're humans, stuff falls out of our pockets once in a while, but this is clearly like intentional. And I've lived in a few different spots where I've seen stuff like this where it's like it's got to be the same person. I just never see him do it. So, but
well, now we've found him. We'll put him on the track for you.
Plot twist. It was Joyce. You live by Joyce, and she's been throwing her big gulps out because she's an alcoholic, and she pours her little flask in there, but she doesn't want anyone to know, so she always gets rid of it before she gets home.
Yeah, after sacrificing Jonathan, I couldn't live with myself, so I would just drink big gulp all the time.
Big gulps full of vodka.
It's a pastime where I live. Where we got a lot of dirt roads, and everybody drinks and drives on. I think it's stupid, but it's like a pastime around here.
So Ron, you're German. Do you kill water bugs?
Well, I mean, from the information I have, I will pull the lever.
And Brittany?
Yeah, I feel like I'm playing God in this one, and whenever I feel like that, I just let stuff be. I don't want to play God, so I'm just gonna like let it be. Littering, it's too, it's like a little thing.
Yes, basically the scenario is someone is going to die, but one person deserves it slightly more than the other, and one person deserves it slightly less.
But
Well,
that's me playing God
wrong.
again, I think.
I could be wrong, but I feel like if you're somebody who's like littering on a regular basis, like I understand, like I said, an accidental thing comes out of the back of your truck or something once in a while. We're all human, but like if you're littering on a regular basis, you're probably doing other stuff too that's not maybe good for your community. I don't know. So
I think what feels a bit off is that like I know I do bad things in life, and I know other people do bad things in life, and I don't know if like am I the one, like how do I really measure whose bad is worse to then drop them into this category of bad citizen? You know what I mean? Like I'm not.
I agree.
That, so I'm just not going to.
I don't feel like knowing that one person litters is sufficient to make a character judgment on either of them. But if we boil it down to the way Jonathan phrased it, one is a little bit worse than the other. Like if we've already got that calculation run, then I guess I'll kill the one that's a little bit worse, because I view inaction and action as essentially morally the same.
Okay. I'm an Enneagram 1, so obviously the Butterbug dies. 82% of people agree with us.
Due to a construction error, a trolley is stuck in an eternal loop. If you pull the lever, the trolley will explode. If you don't, the trolley and its passengers will go in circles for eternity.
I mean, if there are no repercussions, then I'm going to... I mean, if the option is boiled down to either letting these people starve to death or having them explode, I would go ahead and pull the lever and explode them. Again, because I think that inaction is action. But I'm not going to be willing to shoulder any risk for it.
Would you end their suffering, essentially?
Yeah, as long as I don't cause, as long as there's no potential for it to cause any of my own. But if it's in today's world in real life, where like somebody's family would probably try to sue me, then sorry, that's their problem.
Let them blow up or not?
Yeah, probably would.
Like they don't have the guts to just bail out. I mean, how fast is it going?
Too fast, and they're cowards.
Maybe they're all unconscious because they're all so dizzy.
And then what happens if you intervene and then they get mad at you, or their families get mad at you?
Well, yeah, they won't get mad at you because they'll be dead.
Well, yeah, they'll be dead. I just realized when I said that. I feel like I won't do anything. I feel like there's more harm to myself in doing something, which may be a bit selfish, but yeah.
Yeah, I think I would be way too fascinated by this endlessly looping train there, so I just want to watch it.
Have the time.
You just be hypnotized by people suffering.
What about the audio? Yeah, okay. Are we hearing them like scream in agony? Like or is it just quiet? Are they already like their brains already mushy? Like what are we hearing? What are the sound effects? Because
I mean, I assume that if this is happening, they'd probably be unconscious by this point.
Okay.
At some point, they're going to be unconscious.
Well, it sounds like the authorities are coming. So
yeah, thank God somebody more qualified.
Yeah, I think we're saved on this one. We have to. There's no choice. We have to make.
We'll just do nothing.
Yeah, they're not going to starve like.
I guess. I guess we could always come back at any point and change our minds. They're going to be here forever.
Yeah. There's no rush.
Yeah, you wait until you get bored enough to do it.
61%.
A trolley is headed towards your worst enemy. You can pull the lever to divert the trolley and save them, or you can do nothing and no one will ever know.
Well, I have no enemies so from that perspective, but even if I had one, I would still pull the lever.
No, there's a handful of people I'd leave there. And they could know it too.
So,
damn.
I have to agree with Ron. I'm not sure that I really have any enemies. So I would probably try and save them. I mean, it'd have to be like, I mean, are we talking like a friend who like screwed you over one night or something that was dumb? Or are we talking like somebody who's tried like killing you before? Like they've actually tried to kill you and now's your chance to get them. Yeah, I might let them die then. I don't know. Depends on how desperate the situation was. Things change with desperation.
I think Joyce would do it if it was me, because I think there's like 30 questions now.
Jonathan!
Don't try to backpedal on this, Joyce. Jonathan's already my best friend now.
I know, right? I've already lost you.
Yeah, there's definitely at least one scenario in my head that I remember seeing that hasn't come up yet. So,
Jonathan, you're gonna love being best friends with an STP. Do you have bail money?
Yeah, you're
No.
gonna live a life of sex and drugs from now on.
I
You've
used
chosen it.
to have bail money, but I pulled the lever and all my life savings are gone. So not anymore.
I don't really think I have any enemies, but honestly, the reason why I would save them is kind of selfish. It's just so I can like, it'll be like a gloat thing. It's like, I'm superior. Look, you probably did something shit to me, but I saved your life. You owe me.
I like that reasoning.
Yeah. If they're dead, I can't gloat, you know.
I mean, I disagree. I would make a different choice, but I respect the way you got there.
So Brady.
Yeah, once again, I think it has to do with how desperate the situation is. I mean, I think that plays a huge part in it.
Yeah. Probably,
this person has tried to kill me, and I thought that they were going to try and kill me at some point if I didn't kill them. Then yeah, it's live or die, you know.
What if they have tried to kill you, but they are no longer a threat?
Well, then in that case, I'd probably save them. If they're not a threat, then they're not.
But it's not because they're less of an asshole. It's just because whatever they've failed enough times that they gave up.
Well, then they gave up, I guess. I mean, it depends on how close they got to killing me too, and how desperate it was, and how brutal it was. I'm thinking more in the context of like combat and stuff, you know.
That's kind of. I think it's just kind of funny if they tried to kill me like a dozen times and they failed. I keep them alive just because that's kind of it's like incompetent murderer.
I mean, I'd probably pull the lever. So.
Well, you would.
I think most people would pull the lever here, so I think you can pull it.
What was the results? How many percentage of people agreed with that?
Most people would run over their worst enemy.
It was roughly 50-50. 48.
That's interesting.
48 would do what we did, which was not. Trolley.
A trolley is headed towards a person and will lower their lifespan by 50 years. You can pull the lever to divert the trolley and lower the lifespan of 5 people by 10 years each instead. What do you do?
I will do nothing because, I mean, 50 years less. This sounds like they will die from this anyway. So
basically, they don't die.
Doesn't make sense for a moment. Okay, I have to. You can go first.
I'd rather have one person mad at me than 5. So.
Well, they're not going to be mad at you for very long if their lifespan is short.
Well, he won't be mad at me for very long. All the rest of them could be mad at me for quite a while still.
Yeah. I agree.
Because 10 years is not like they still have a lot of time to live. Yeah, I think I will do nothing.
Yeah, do nothing.
Do nothing. Okay, unanimous. I guess it's just a fascinating scenario. I would probably have to take time to make sense of the question by which point the guy's already lost.
That feels like a cop out.
He didn't splat. Oh,
That's
it's just shortened.
That's the point. That's what the question says. See, that by itself means you didn't understand the question.
Well, I think there'd still be a little bit of splattering.
Oh, it's because he just gets older because the trolley is an aging trolley.
It's an aging trolley. Okay.
Oh wait, did the graphic get older? Like, does
No, because it's
He got a little bit dirtier.
I think it got older.
A trolley is heading towards 5 people. You can pull the lever to divert it to the other track, sending the trolley into the future to kill 5 people 100 years from now. What do you do?
send it to the future.
Yeah, pull it.
So kill 5. Yeah, I'm not even going to be alive in 100 years. I'm sending it to the future.
future?
Future. Believe it. Ooh. 72% agree with us. That's just what.
A trolley problem is playing out before you. Do you actually have a choice in this situation, or has everything been predetermined since the universe began?
Jesus.
Didn't I say that earlier?
Yeah,
Yes.
you did.
Sounds like I figured this thing out pretty early on.
Functionally, everybody behaves as if they have a choice. Predetermination is mental masturbation. So yes, you have a choice.
Taylor chose agency.
Yeah.
I have agency too.
And Brady.
Yes, I have a choice.
Okay. And Brady, do you have a choice?
I mean, I believe I have a choice, but I believe that there's a mix of free will and determinism at the same time.
Stroke.
Feels good, man. What can I say?
I have a choice.
You have a choice. I don't know why that person had to die.
Why?
I guess it was predetermined. Oh, we did. We've killed 6.
Kill count
66.
66.
There's the plot twist. You did solve it.
Yeah. There's
Oh,
actually-
there were people on the thing in the trolley. Were
Mhm.
they? Oh no.
They had to watch all that shit.
There was actually a scenario I was expected to come up that didn't. When it was on one line, there's like an infinite number of people, and another line there's a small number of people, but they'll be resurrected and die in a circle. So they'll be resurrected and die immediately. Basically, would you kill an infinite number of people, or would you torture a small number of people for eternity?
Damn, you're twisted. That's a good question, though. Hey, I think I'm gonna let those people torture.
Really? Well, how's that different from just letting life play out as normal? But wait,
And it gets darker and darker.
I think an infinite number of people are going to die anyway. I suppose the only difference is that the infinite number of people are trapped in some hellish.
Because the infinite number of people, I mean, does that would that negate life? Basically, if you're killing infinite people, do they ever live?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
Would you want to be one of the people who are like on the infinite line, or one of the people who's going to be tortured forever?
Well, I'd rather not be tortured forever. I think basically any option is better than being tortured forever.
Yeah, but you would go and condemn them to be tortured forever.
If you're tortured forever, you will use your mind, so you will not notice it anyway.
But
Interesting.
torture you're gonna feel, even if it's forever.
Yeah, there's other versions where it's like, would you kill one healthy person so that their organs will go to five unhealthy people who need organ transplants?
See, for me,
That's
that would
just-
depend on their health, what their unhealthy reasons were. I mean, did they get
Well,
unhealthy
these-
by choice? I mean, did they smoke their lungs away or something, or did they drink their liver? You know, that's your problem. I'm not that you made that.
You're not going to kill somebody for my lungs?
Well, no, you.
Well, you smoke.
It's you choose to do that. I didn't say I didn't choose to smoke. So, but yeah, I wouldn't expect anybody to do that for me. You know, if my health problems were of my own making.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people these days seem to be. Not everybody, but a lot do.
Yeah. The point of the killing someone for their organs thing is to make you think, how is that different from pulling the lever or not? Because functionally, you're killing one person to save 5 if you pull the lever. And how's that different from like killing one person so their organs will go to 5 sick people?
I think they do that in China. It's like organ harvesting.
Shout out to the Uyghurs.
Well, the interesting thing is, I mean, everybody's going to die anyways at some point. So, like,
yeah, I feel like hunting somebody to harvest is different from just finding yourself with this decision to make.
Yeah, it's one of those ones I hoped had come up in the thing, but didn't. And the last one that would sometimes comes up is a fat man, where you can stop the trolley by shoving a fat man in the path of the trolley. Again, there's questions of like how culpable you are. Does the question change if it's not just pulling a lever, if it's something more personal?
If it's more personal, I don't think it changes for me.
Or you'd totally push a fat man?
I would shove a fat man the same that I would throw a lever, but I don't think I would hunt out somebody to harvest their organs the same as I would do either one of those, because I didn't. In one, you're creating the situation, and the others, you're just in it.
Yeah.
It seems like you'd have to be a pretty large person to stop a trolley. I mean, the mass is so different.
Yeah, and also you'd have to be really strong to shove someone that fat. But,
yeah.
As for, I don't think necessarily harvesting the person's organ. It could be like you shoot someone, and you know for a fact that they're a donor, and they're going the list.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. Just again, it's about creating the situation or just finding yourself in it.
Nice.
All right. Thank you everyone for coming out today. It was cool to see how Taylor is so action oriented. So he's like, no action is an action, so I'm going to take an action. And so like there's a bravery or a courage. It's like, I'm not going to freeze because that's immoral in itself, not doing anything. So like it's like your anti-bystander effect in a lot of ways.
I don't even think that's a thing though, right? Like I think that that's like a self-delusion or something. That doing nothing, like you're choosing the option. You have 2 options. Just because one of them you don't actually do anything to choose it, you're still choosing it. So I almost don't even believe in inaction as a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's the most ESTP thing
ever. Type verified right here. And thanks, Brittany, for coming here, even though it's your birthday week. So
happy birthday!
It was a fun birthday thing to do. Thank you.
Hey,
thank you.
There's no one else I'd rather run someone over with. I mean, that came out wrong.
Jonathan, you'd rather run Jonathan over. Let's just do.
Hey, for noble aims, I feel like when Jonathan becomes a cherub when he dies, he'll be happy that I chose the decision he would have wanted me to choose. See, I'm so close to him. I know what he would want me to choose. So
he disapproves.
I was thinking for that one too. Like I feel like if I didn't kill my best friend, then they would hate me that I saved their lives, and everybody else. But yeah, I killed everyone else.
And yeah, it was cool to hear your commentary, Brady. It was very thoughtful, and you predicted how everything was going to go in the end. I feel like when you extroverted intuition so much, it turns into NI because one of them has got to be right. So it's like, yes, you've predicted.
That is so cheating. That's not what NI is. NI gets it right. NE gets it right by accident because it's like he's 100 options. Yeah, like a couple of them were right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it was really thought-provoking. So you brought out the philosopher twist to this all, which is what the exercise was created for. So yeah, and thanks, Ron, for the very concise answers. You would think about it and then you would answer. In true ISTP fashion, you would snipe us with your answer at the end. You're like, here, I think this is why. Yeah, because I noticed.
I think Ron and I deserve extra credit because this is really late for us.
I know, right? Like, thank you for the 4 a.m. times. Yeah. So
It's probably 6 a.m. for you.
5 a.m. Yeah, no.
Good morning, Ron. Good morning.
Good morning.
yeah, and thanks, Jonathan, for putting us in morally questionable scenarios. So you know who you can trust out of this group.
Yeah, I know I can't trust you to save my life if it's good enough. I know where we stand now.
And who would have thunk it would have been me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. I trusted the ESTP to just take action.
Yeah, because he knows that the INFJ is going to find the cure to cancer, so he can't kill you. He has to keep you alive in case the cigarettes give
But
him
the
cancer.
INFJ isn't gonna then communicate it. They might be able to come up, conceptualize it from their chair at home.
I think the INTJ will want curing cancer. The INFJ will be like, I would love to cure cancer, but I just do not have the science. We're kind of
All right.
useless.
Touche.
Best-
I think you're
Best we
right.
can do is bring people together and put them in gruesome thought experiments.
Yeah. So then Taylor's just saving you because he likes you. So there's no utility to it. There's no TE. He just.
That's enough utility in and of itself.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. And so thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you all in the next episode.